Hey everyone. So in this tutorial, we'll be making this new pattern by TobiStylx. It's called the Charlette Boxy bag. The bag features top handle and also a long strap that you can make with just vinyl or vinyl and chain. And the long strap is attached to the side panel using a D-ring. It also features pulse fit and this lock. So the pattern has two options for the closure, one using the tuck lock and the other using magnetic snaps and twist lock. So I made my two bags using tuck locks, but the designer Tobi has a video showing how to do the other version of the closure, which is using magnetic snaps and twist locks. And twist lock. So if you'd like to make the version, you can watch her video. I would link it in the description. Okay, so the bag opens like this, and you have the inner flap panel. Okay, and we have two slip pockets here. The same with the red bag. I used tuck locks too. And the inside is quite spacious. It's a small, cute bag. Okay, so let's jump into the tutorial. All right, so starting up with our pattern pieces, I have my exterior main panel, my side panel, my inner flap panel, and the slip pocket trim cut out in red vinyl. And for the rest of the exterior pieces, I'll be using black vinyl. I have also gone ahead to interface the necessary pattern pieces as instructed. And for my lining, I'll be using waterproof canvas that I've interfaced with Decovale Light. But for the lining panel and for the lining interfacing, I would advise that you please refer to the instruction because the designer Tobi has given instructions for the lining panel and for the lining interfacing. So please refer to the lining, to the cotton label for the instructions. I've also gone ahead to label my interfacing, that's for the exterior. I've labeled my interfacing as instructed in the pattern. This part is very, very important. We have to label it. Also for seam allowances for placement markings, please refer to the pattern instructions for the measurements because I won't be mentioning them in the video. For our hardwares, we'll be needing two swivel hooks, two D-rings, slider, rivet, pulse fit, and a tuck lock. For this pattern, the designer gave two options for the closure, either using magnetic snaps or a tuck lock, but I'll be using a tuck lock for my bag. I also have chain and strap ends that are actually optional. Okay, so the set first of panels we'll be working with is our exterior lining, and this is the inner flap panel. Okay, so first I want to quickly show you how I creased this. I used this, I think it's called the tracing wheel. Okay, so I think it's called the tracing wheel. So I just use this to run through the lines that I drew on the interfacing. You would have to apply a little bit of pressure. Okay. Okay, so you have to go ahead and do that for all the lines. Then with the help of those lines that you creased, you will get this boxy shape. Okay. All right. So now we have to fold the raw edges to meet the interfacing. Okay, so we have to fold this raw edge to meet the interfacing, not to cover it, just okay, to meet the interfacing. So I'll start up with the edges. I'll just leave the angles for now. Then I'll fold in this part. I'll come back for this. Okay, no, I think I'll just leave this long. Let me go ahead and do this part. No, this part now. So again, we are folding the raw edges to meet the interfacing, not to overlap it. If I can find my okay, so after I've done these edges, I come back here, fold this to meet okay, then I just squeeze this together. Okay, let's do that here again. Okay, then just squeeze this together to form this angle right here. So after doing that, you just get some clips ready. Snip this off and hold it down with a clip. Okay. So I don't want to do all this part because sometimes this the fabric just keeps lifting up. So I'll just leave this bits for now and I'll get back to this later. We'll do the same for our inner flap panel. So first, the long edges. This is also going to meet the interfacing, not to overlap it. Repeat the same thing on this edge. Okay, then when I'm done with the long the edges, then I come back here and just pinch this edge together. Okay. Just pinch it together at an angle. Snip and hold it down with a clip. Snip and hold it down with a clip. Okay, so I've gone ahead to attach one of the inner flap panel to the lining. Then we'll do the rest together. Okay, so for the lining part, we have to fold the edges to cover the interfacing. Okay, it's going to overlap. Unlike the exterior that it had to touch the interfacing, this will have to cover. This will have to cover the interfacing. Okay. Okay. Like so. Then we are going to attach this part to one of the inner flap panels. Okay. So I want to note here that your lining is supposed to be shorter than the inner flap panel by 1/8 of an inch on each side. So I've gone ahead to make little marks here and here. Okay. So I just line that up for accuracy on that 1/8 mark. Then I go over to the other edge, line that up at that mark. Okay. Now we're going to sew this together. So for this one, I'm using a stitch length of 2.5. I'm sorry, I didn't know my camera went off. So okay, when I finished sewing right sides together, then I top stitched on the lining panel. Okay, then I've gone ahead to make my mark for the slip pocket placement, and I've also marked the center of the lining. I've made one of it here, so we'll make this one together. So you're going to put your slip pocket panel right sides together, and we're going to stitch these two long edges. Stitch length of 2.5. We're going to snip these corners and turn it right side out. Okay, then I like to quickly top stitch this raw edges together. It's optional, you don't have to do that. I'll just increase my stitch length and Okay. Okay, so next we're going to attach the trim to our slip pocket. Okay, with the help of the line we drew at the middle, we place the raw edge on that line. Okay. Okay, then you just fold the trim over to cover that raw edge. Okay, now we're gonna top stitch this edge. I'm using a stitch length of 4. Okay, so we're going to trim off this excess trim. Okay, so we're going to attach this together to our main panel. We're going to find the center. Put a strip of 2 strips of double-sided tape. Okay. So first you want to make sure that your 2 markings are accurate. Okay. Okay. So you're going to hold it down. Okay. And we're going to top stitch this to the lining panel. I'm using a stitch length of 4. So next we'll be working on our handle and attaching it to our exterior panel. So starting off with one of the handle panel. Okay. Okay, now that we have them with the raw edges folded to meet the lines, we're going to sew these two right sides together. I have my stitch length set to 2.5. I'm just going to run two strips of double-sided tape to help hold the seam down. Okay, then fold this to meet the line. Mm. Okay. All right, so we're going to turn this right side out so that the wrong side, the sides that we folded the edges in, will be inside. Then we're going to look for our seam, this two here. Okay. So we're to put our seam, that's the seam, we're to put it at 3/4 3/4 inch in from the short edge. Okay, so I'll get this off. Okay. I don't really need to measure this. I just need to make sure that the seam is not at the beginning. Okay. And now we're going to top stitch the long edges. Take your time to make sure that all the edges are smooth and you don't have any puckers. Okay, using a stitch length of 4, I'm going to top stitch all around the handle. All right, so I've done one of these, and we're going to do the next one together. So I'm just going to use this to hold. Okay. Okay. I just need to make sure it's well positioned before I squeeze it. Okay, that looks good. Okay. Okay, so I've gone ahead to make my markings according to the instruction, and I'll be doing mine a bit different because of the strap ends that I have. So what I'm gonna do is I have a strip of double-sided tape behind this. Okay, so I'm gonna place the middle of the strap. Excuse me. I'm gonna place the middle to the middle of to the line. That means you have a line that you've drawn here according to the instruction. Then you're gonna put the middle of your strap right there. I think I would have to use clip first. Okay. Then we're gonna repeat the same thing here. Okay. So just go ahead and measure it to be sure that 1/108 or no. No. Okay. So I'm going to punch a hole through this so I can use a rivet to hold it down. Okay. Now I'm going to repeat the same thing here. Okay, so the next step is for us to attach the female end of our lock to the front part of the bag. So I have made my measurements according to the instruction on the front part, the part that is labeled front. Remember that we attached our handle to the upper part. Then now we're going to attach this female part of our lock to the front part. So I've made my measurements using this. So you're just going to center the middle of your prawn, not the prawn, the middle of your the washer on that line, on the line that you made, and you're just going to make your mark. Okay. So I'm going to use be gentle while making this cut. It's better to make smaller cuts than making a very big one, and you won't be able to fix that. So be gentle with that opening. Okay, let me see if this is gonna fit. No. I think I'll just use my scissors to just okay, better. These prawns are very, very fragile, so I need to be careful with them. This has been a little bit stubborn. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to attach this through the right side. Okay, then put in our washer. Okay, then I like to go in with painter's tape to just help secure the back of it a little bit. I really don't know if this does much. I don't know, but I've seen other people use this, and I just use it, but I don't know if it actually helps over time, or well, I don't know. Okay, there we have it. Okay, so remember the upper part, the upper, the lower. So if just to have an idea of what our bag is looking like. Okay, all right. Next we're going to attach our purse fit. I've also gone ahead to make the markings according to the instruction. Okay. 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 I'm gonna put again a bit of, oh, where did my scissors go to? Okay, so here we have it. Next, we'll be working on our lock panel and the male end of the lock. I've already done one of this, so we'll do this together. So we need to fold in the raw edges to meet the line. Okay, then we're going to fold this wrong sides together, clip it in place, and we're going to top stitch all around the 3 sides. Okay, so we're putting in the finished edge, not the raw edge, the finished edge into the lock. So I just try to get that centered. Then I start off with my hand, just pushing it together gradually until I'm sure. Okay. Okay. Okay, now I can go ahead and squeeze it together. Okay. Yeah, so I have my placement for the lock panel on the side that's labeled upper flap. I also have a strip of double-sided tape. So I'm going to center that lock panel on that line that I made. So make sure that it's properly centered. And I will just hold that panel down with some clips. So at this point, I just want to close up the bag, take a good look at it, and be sure that I'm okay with the placement, that everything looks good before moving on to the next step. Okay, and I think I'm okay with the placement. Next, we'll be working on our side panel. I've done this already. So we're going to bring in the raw edges to meet the line. And we're going to set this aside for a minute. And then on your side panel, to get the 3/4 the slits that I made here, for the 3/4 inch slit that I made here, what I did is that I made a mark from the middle line here. I made 3/8 to one side. Then from that middle mark again, another 3/8 to the other side. So if you measure this now, you have a 3/4 inch space here. So I'm going to use my rotary cutter and carefully make a slit. Carefully. Okay. Okay. So with the right sides facing, that's this place with the raw edge facing up and the right sides facing together, we're going to push this strap into the slit we just made. Okay. I might have to make it okay now. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so I like to put the edge of the short edge of the strap at 3/8 up from this line here. Okay. Now we're going to top stitch this part here using a 1/8 seam allowance. Okay. Okay. Then we're going to pass our D-ring. Okay. Then feed this short edge through the opening. Okay. So at this point, we're going to hold all these layers down with a rivet. So I'm going to mark here the center of the side panel, and from this stitch here, I'm going to mark down 1/4 inch. So I'm going to place my rivet right at that mark. Making sure that this is aligned. Okay. Okay, so next we're going to assemble our side panel. First, we're going to sew the lining and the exterior right sides together. Okay, so I'm going to chain my top thread to red, and I'll top stitch this. Okay, so I've changed my top thread to red for top stitching, and I have my stitch length at 4. So for our side frame panel, we're going to put it wrong sides together, and we're going to top stitch the raw edge, baste the raw edge. So I have my stitch length set to 5.5 since it's for basting. I would also go ahead and baste my side panel together, that's the exterior to the lining. I'm going to baste it together. Okay, yeah, unfortunately I didn't record the part where I added my side panel to the side, my side frame panel to the side panel. So this is a video of the first bag that I made before the pattern was updated. The only difference here is that the updated pattern, we just had to fold our side frame panel wrong sides together, while this one we have lining and interfacing and all that. So we'll just go ahead after the step where we basted the side frame panel in the previous video. We'll just go ahead right now and mark our center of our side frame panel and match it up to the center of the side panel. Now we're going to go ahead and clip them right sides together. You can start by clipping the middle, or you clip the two short edges. Okay, so just make sure that your raw edges are matching up together and just clip them in place. I have my stitch length set to 2.5 and we're going to sew that right sides together. At the corner right there, we can see that the side panel, it's poking out a bit, but it doesn't matter. Just go ahead and keep stitching and keep sewing. Just be careful at that curve. Okay, so the next step is for us to attach our taping to enclose the raw edges here. So I'm going to fold this down, maybe by 1/2 inch or something like that. Yeah, about 1/2 inch. Okay. Then okay. So I'm gonna try to help. Okay, so we're gonna clip this all around the raw edge. Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna assemble the bag. I'm gonna place the lining on top of the exterior, and I'll start clipping them together in place. Okay, so you need to remember that our lining is a bit shorter than the exterior. Okay, so that's why we have this space here. So I think I'll go ahead and top stitch this part here first, all around here in this place, before I attach the side panel to the remaining part of the bag.